Are you struggling to find time off in your cleaning business? Are you wearing so many hats that you're not able to take a week's vacation or maybe even a few days off? I want you to stay encouraged. There may be a way that you can make these few tweaks in your business which will allow you to start taking the time off that you need. I'm Moragne-Morris, owner of Squeaky Clean for the past 20 years. Stay tuned for the video. So let's get right into the material. So one of the mistakes that you likely are making, and this is one of the most common mistakes that most cleaning business owners make especially, is thinking that only you can do the job right. Actually, I think this is probably a mistake that most business owners struggle with, because let's face it, your business is your baby and no one's going to care about it as hard as you do, but I won't say that no one's going to care about it as much as you do. There is a way that you can train your staff and have them care about your business just as much as you do. So how do I know? Because I've done this, and I have staff that actually do care about the business. They care about the customers, they care about the customer experience, and they care about whether they keep the job or not. So let me share a story with you. I started my business 20 years ago, as I said, and about 8 years into the business, I got married and I was pregnant with my first child. Well, I was cleaning so long that the customers were like, aren't you going to take off for maternity leave? I think they were worried I was actually going to have the baby in their house. But I hadn't really, I know it sounds crazy, but I hadn't thought about taking off, because I'm like, if I'm not here, how's the business going to run? And who's going to run the business like me? Well, lo and behold, I took off. I was 8 months and like 2 weeks pregnant, and I took off. And I had to start delegating. Like, I was forced to delegate. Well, let me tell you, I'm so glad that happened, because up until then, I didn't really delegate much. I took my staff with me everywhere, so we ran as a crew, but I never left them really alone all that much. I had one worker that I did. She had been with me forever, but she was the only one I really trusted to leave alone. So fast forward, I go into delivery, I have the baby, I'm out for a month and a half. Now, I will say, I did have a few problems. A few people were sending complaints about things that, didn't look the way that they were used to, but this was because I was always with them. But guess what happened? I didn't lose a single customer. Not one of them dropped me. Not one of them were so unhappy that they left. They just had complaints that I needed to address and that were totally fixable. So that's the thing you have to understand as a business owner, is that problems are going to arise. Things are not always going to go perfect, but the way that you fix the problems and the solutions that you have for the problems and the way that you fix the problem with the customer is what's most important. Think about it if you go out to a fast food restaurant, let's say Chick-fil-A, and you go order a meal and your fries are cold. Are you going to walk up to the counter and say, my fries are cold, I want a refund, I'm never coming back here to eat again? No, you're not. You're going to say, hey, I eat here all the time. I'm used to a certain level of hotness in my food, and these fries are cold. Can I get another fry? And now at this point, the ball is in Chick-fil-A's court. Are they going to act like a weirdo and say, no, bye, sorry? No, of course they're not. They're going to say, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Let me get you fresh fries. Actually, would you mind waiting? I'll give you a fresh batch from this that just came up. You get your fresh fries. They're hot. You're happy. Chick-fil-A's happy. That's exactly what happens in a cleaning business. That's exactly what can happen in your business. The way that you handle the problems that may arise because you're not on the scene makes all the difference in how your business is going to carry out. So I want you to be able to lighten some of the load, the mental weight that you carry with having a business, because the mental weight that business owners carry is, oh my goodness, if this messes up, my business is going to fall apart. No, maybe I'm the only one that thinks that way. I can't be the only one that thinks that way. I future trip, right? I get a complaint and it's like, oh my gosh, they're going to cancel me. And then I'm doing the math in my head, times 12, I'm going to be down like $20,000 of income for the year. That's what I do, but it never happens. It doesn't happen that way. Now, if you don't address problems and fix them and they have to keep complaining, yes, then you're going to have a situation. But 9 times out of 10, most problems that arise from you not being on the scene are easily fixable by having good customer service, by you being totally empathetic. Like, I am so sorry that happened. I know you're used to a certain standard, and I'm sorry we weren't able to deliver that today. What I'm going to do for you is, and this is how you fix it, X, Y, and Z. Whatever it is that you're going to do to fix it. Maybe you're going to send the person back. Maybe you'll go back. Maybe you'll retrain your worker to show them what they did wrong. Try not to discount money. You don't want to take money off ever. You want to fix the problem. But so that's one of the first things that you do to ensure that your business can run when you're not around. The first thing you have to do is stop being around all the time. Try it out. Like, if that's hard for you, take a me day for yourself. Just say, you know what, I'm going to go to Starbucks. I'm going to have a drink. I'm going to read a book, and I'm just going to be by. You're like that helicopter hovering mom where you're not hovering over them, but you're just going to stay off to the side. You're going to be there with your phone and ready to answer any problems. I don't recommend you try it by going away for a week or going out of the country. Start off with baby steps. Try taking off a morning, 2 afternoons. You know, just scale it up that way. It'll make you more comfortable when it's actually time for you to go away. What this will also do, doing a dry run of taking time off, is it's also going to show you where the holes are. You don't really know where the holes are if you're always there covering the holes. You don't know what your staff doesn't know. You don't know what they're going to do in certain situations if you're always there with them. So doing this dry run beforehand is going to show you the areas that you need to work on. The second mistake that you may be making in your business is not correcting your staff and retraining them properly. So it's one thing, let's take that example again, where the customer called and let's say they said, you know, there was like a lot of hair left in the bathroom this time. It kind of just looked like they didn't clean it, or it looked like they just didn't do a good job with it. So you could say, oh, I'm so sorry. I will come and fix it for you. I want to make sure the bathroom feels as clean to you as it always does. So you go back the next day, you clean the hair up, and you know, you do a little extra. You don't just go in and clean the hair up. You wipe the sink out, you wipe the mirror, you freshen the bathroom back up, you get all the hair off the floor, you double check and make sure it's gone, and then that's that. No, that's not what you do. The best thing you can do, if at all possible, is to take your employee back with you so they can see the scene, they see the crime scene. Because let me tell you, there's so many times that I finished cleaning, I went back and checked after myself and there was hair. I'm like, where did this hair come from? So your staffer needs to see the problem that they left. And now here's the moment where you retrain. You can implement things like, hey, after you're done, I'm sure you did a great job on this bathroom. You were probably on your hands and knees, and you give your employee the benefit of the doubt. Maybe what happened was it tracked in from your shoe, or maybe some of this hair came off of your rag. Regardless of what happened, you need to make sure you double check the bathroom. So you scour around, you look all over the floor, you check and make sure there's no streaks, because you know how mirrors can dry streaky even though they look clean when you do them. And then you just make sure that you got everything done right. This is a teaching moment for you, between you and your staff. And it's good for them to see that even though something looks good when you clean it, doesn't mean it stays good. What do I mean by that? Perfect example of a wet sink and a mirror. Clean the mirror off, you wipe the sink out, it looks clean, but as it dries, the mirror's dry streaky. The sink have spots on them. You don't want to have spots and streaks. Like you said, you could drop some hair off of the rag. This is the time to retrain your staff to make sure they go back and check their work. That is the number one reason that things are left not done right, because they're not going back and checking after themselves. They're rushing off to the job. Another thing you could do is take accountability. Hey, we got a complaint about the bathroom. They saw hair. Is there a reason that you weren't able to go back and check? Your person might tell you like, oh my gosh, the rest of the house was so dirty, and I know you give us like 3 hours to clean it, and I didn't really have time. Well, now you know that that's a you problem, right? You're putting time restraints on your staff that's making them think they have to honor the time commitment over the quality of their cleaning. So now this is an area that you could tweak while you're retraining your staff. So do you see the importance of not just fixing the problems yourself, but using it as a teaching moment to retrain your staff? The last biggest mistake that I'm going to go over, and this may be a little controversial, and it took me a while to start implementing this, but I do it now, is you cannot say yes to every customer that calls you for a cleaning job. You just can't. And I know that you may be in the beginning stages where you're really trying hard to grow your business and you don't want to lose any business, and you feel that if I don't take every customer in that calls me, that's just money I'm wasting. But it's really not true. And it wasn't until I started making enough money where I didn't have to take every customer that I started to notice something. Wow, the customers that I said I couldn't take them, they didn't take no for an answer. They didn't say, oh, okay, well, that's a bummer, and go call someone else. They would push. They would say, okay, well, will you have time in the next month or so? I'd be like, maybe I would. Would you like me to take your name and phone number and call you back if a spot opens up? Yes, I would love that. I was like, aha moment. Oh my gosh, people like being on a waiting list. VIP, people want to be on a list. Being on a list makes you feel important. And then when that spot opens up, oh my goodness, they're so grateful that you now have time for them. I used to say yes to everybody, try to fit it all in, jam-pack my schedule, and then I didn't have time to take off. And I'm wondering why I'm so stressed out and why I'm so upset and I need a me day and I have no time, because I was doing it to myself. I was packing out our schedule too much. And let me tell you something else that happens when you pack the schedule too much. When you start cleaning too much and your staff is cleaning too much, your work starts to get sloppy. So you really want to make sure that you only take on the work that you can easily accommodate with excellent cleaning, with good customer service in the time frame that you have allotted. You want to respect your staff's time. If they're part-time and they're telling you they need to pick their kid up by 2:30, don't pack their schedule so tight that there's no room for mistakes. You cut them off an hour earlier. You give them a cushion so that they have time to go off. There are some workers that are going to push you for more hours, but you know in your head, if I push you all the way to these full 8 hours, there's no time for you to fix anything, and then you're just going to do sloppy work. So you want to make sure that you say no when you don't have properly trained staff to easily accommodate that person. And I know it feels counterintuitive to you growing a business, but I promise you, it's the very way that you're going to grow your business. You put them on a waiting list. You maybe need to hire another person. Maybe you need to rethink the way that you do the schedule. Maybe you need to call them back and offer, hey, we can't really do every other week, but we can fit you in one time in the next week. And then maybe we can come back again next month. So maybe you work it out with the customer where you can find a way to arrange the schedule so that it works for both parties. But saying yes to every customer is a surefire way to make sure you don't ever get a day off. And now I want to talk about the importance of you being able to get a day off. And I'm not talking weekends when you're just running your kid all around like an Uber driver to all their sports activities. I'm talking you really want time off where you can reset, where you can rest. Because what happens is, even though your business is your baby, you start to get resentful. At least I do. Maybe you don't, or maybe everybody doesn't, but you start to get resentful, and then it starts to come off in your attitude. When you have a cleaning business, you are the leader of that business. You are in charge of steering the business through the choppy waters, through the rough times, through the good times. You have to have good morale for your staff. You have to keep a positive environment, a positive attitude. If you come in grumpy because you're stressed out and stressed, how do you think your staff is going to start responding to that? And then that grumbling, it catches. It's so contagious. So you really want to make sure that you're able to take, even if you start with a morning a week. Let's say you set Tuesday morning, because Monday morning can be a bit much. You have schedule tweaks, you got to fill in spots. Let's say you take Tuesday morning and you say, I am not going to work until 12 noon. Then that could be the time that you journal. Maybe that's the time you read. Maybe it's the time you work on your leadership skills, and make it purposeful. Block out the time. Okay, for an hour, I'm going to read educational, or I'm only going to watch educational videos, or watch this YouTube channel on leadership development, how to develop myself as a leader. Then for the next hour, I am going to take a walk and enjoy nature. And then the third hour, I'm going to go sit and people watch. Boy, do I miss people watching. Anyway, I'm going to sit and people watch, and then I'm going to be refreshed, and then I'm going to go start my day and join my team, or however you carve your day out. So I hope those 3 areas help you. If you just make one tweak in those, I guarantee you're going to start to see immediate change. And then you're going to get to the point where you're able to scale back drastically, as I have done, and work 2 to 3 days a week out on the field. And maybe you only work 1 day a week out in the field. Can you imagine what your life would look like if you're able to still bring in the same amount of income, start bringing in more income than you are now, but being out in the field less, doing less work? Can you even imagine? Do you even think that's possible? Well, I promise you it is, because that's the life that I live now in my cleaning company. Now, I want to hear from you. If you have a topic that you would like me to cover, please note it in the comment, and I will make sure to check it and do a subject on that. I have a long list of items that I'm going to talk about. I mean, I have content for days, but I want to make sure that I'm actually answering questions that some of you may have, because I don't want to just talk out to the air. I want to do videos and create content that's actually going to help you, because I really want to help other people learn from my mistakes, or maybe be able to help answer questions that you're struggling with. But I only know what you're struggling with if you tell me. So make a comment below on a topic that you would love me to cover and answer. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and subscribe if you haven't already, and stay tuned for next week, where I will be going over more business examples that may help you navigate this crazy cleaning world that we have. And I hope you enjoyed. Ciao for now.